When this doctor awoke from surgery, he claimed he had an urgent message from the afterlife. The loud, steady beating of a heart rate monitor, the clang of metal medical instruments being plucked from their tray, a team of surgeons surrounding a hospital bed, and a bright overhead light shining directly on a patient whose life hangs in the balance. These are the tense scenes that we instantly envisage when thinking of an emergency surgery. The patient being operated on, of course, is almost always oblivious to all of this. For Dr.RajivParti, however, a life or death operation in 2010 catapulted him into an out-of-body experience. The medic subsequently claimed that he knew that he wasn't dreaming or imagining things as he underwent surgery. Every detail was so palpable that he was convinced that what he saw was real. When he awoke, moreover, he told everyone that he had crossed over to the other side and had a message to share. Before the surgery that would change his life, Dr. Parti described his existence in a piece that he wrote for the Daily Mail, calling his a charmed life. He and his wife, Arpana, both had successful careers in healthcare. She had a dental practice, while he'd worked his way up to become head of anesthesiology at California's Bakersfield Heart Hospital. At that time, Dr. Parti relished the finest things life had to offer, in a materialistic sense anyway. He'd swapped his humble family home for a bona fide mansion. Our cars went from average Fords and Toyotas to supercars, he added. I was even planning on buying a Ferrari. My goal was bigger everything. But while appearances would lead many outsiders to believe that the anesthesiologist had it all, actually he knew deep down that he didn't. For one thing, he often butted heads with his eldest son, Raghav, who didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps into the medical field. Still, Dr. Parti's material possessions allowed him to create the impression of a perfect life. That is, until he received some bad news in 2008. At just 51 years of age, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Yet his solution, of course, was to throw money at the problem. I booked an operation with one of the best prostate surgeons in the country and assumed all would be well, he explained. Nevertheless, Dr. Parti experienced unexpected complications, which forced him to undergo 5 further operations after his initial surgery. But none of them really worked, he recalled. And during this undoubtedly difficult period of his life, he also unfortunately became addicted to painkillers. And everything came to a head on Christmas Day in 2010, when Dr. Parti's body temperature shot up to a blazing 105 degrees Fahrenheit. I knew instantly what was happening. An infection was spreading rapidly in my abdomen, he wrote. Fortunately, Dr. Parti's wife was able to get him into a car and subsequently drove him to UCLA Hospital. There, doctors placed him on an extra strong course of antibiotics to battle the infection. But sadly, the medication proved ineffective. So just a day after Dr. Parti arrived at the hospital, doctors made a last-ditch effort to save him, with surgery on his abdomen. Floating in and out of consciousness, the anesthesiologist remembered asking the medical team what they would use to sedate him. He also recalled a doctor asking if he was ready to go under the knife. But shortly after he lost consciousness, Dr. Parti instead felt that he was waking up. I could see the ceiling approaching, he later recalled. At that point, though, he realized that he was seeing the room from an entirely different angle. Indeed, he peered down and saw surgical incisions zigzagging across his own stomach. Understandably, Dr. Parti felt terrified. But where was I? He remembered thinking. For a few moments, I froze with fright, worried that whatever was holding me up on the ceiling would suddenly let me drop. His fear began to subside, though, when he realized that he could see the surgeons as they worked to save him. Dr. Parti's sense of calm wouldn't last long, however. Everything went dark, he recalled. Then came a jolt of pure fear. To my right, I heard screams of pain and anguish. I was drawn in, as if on a moving pavement, to the edge of a flaming canyon. Smoke filled my nostrils, and with it the sickening odor of burning flesh. I knew then that I was on the tip of hell. Dr. Parti felt that any attempt to flee would prove pointless, as an unseen force moved him forward. Then, out of nowhere, a voice spoke to him, saying, "You have led a materialistic and selfish life." The anesthesiologist could only agree, realizing that long ago he'd stopped empathizing with the patients in his care. Dr. Parti wouldn't stay in this hellish nightmare for long, though, as then his father appeared, saving him from a life spent in the underworld. He was guided through a tunnel where Dr. Party claims that he met Saint Raphael and Saint Michael, angels said to heal and protect respectively. Apparently, they told him that enlightenment would only be attained when he realized that love was the only thing that mattered. Seemingly, the saints ushered Dr. Party towards what he remembered as a being of light. The glow, he said, spoke to him telepathically. "You need to look at your life one more time," it said. "It's important to reflect on the changes you need to make." And Dr. Party felt that he knew what that meant. He had to help others to overcome their own demons, whether they be addictions, depression, or other forms of anguish. As soon as this realization dawned on him, Dr. Party's eyes felt pained, so he closed them, and subsequently woke up in the recovery room, having made it through surgery alive. The divine light being's instructions were very vivid in my mind, Dr. Party later wrote on his personal website. "I needed to follow my dharma and help people with diseases of the soul." This apparent revelation led him to quit his job as chief anesthesiologist, a move that shocked his colleagues. But he knew that he wanted to help others find healing through alternative methods, such as meditation. In fact, Dr. Party's gone on to become a best-selling author and life coach, and he's also changed his attitude towards his own family. For instance, Dr. Party began encouraging his children to pursue their own dreams. As a result, Raghav switched his focus to computer programming and has since built a stronger, closer relationship with his father too. Hopefully, this has helped in fulfilling Dr. Party's mid-surgery vision of a life well led.